Hey everybody, Happy New Year. Hope everybody made it safe through the new year. Somebody said they were trying out a dry January. In my mind, I just hope that it would stop raining because another dry January doesn't make any sense to me, as we all know. It's just silly. Dry. Dry what? Seems we really did have a COVID Christmas because everybody's dropping from the COVID. The omnivirus, Omicron, whatever you want to call it, is just taking names, man, getting everybody. I don't even know what to tell you. It's the dreaded January surge. We're gonna stop the spread in just a couple of weeks. Me personally, I think it's gonna be like a wildfire and just kind of burn itself out. Then hopefully we'll be done with it. But my son, one of the squirrels, the oldest one, had the COVID, and my wife was very concerned. She woke up with some sniffles and a little stuffy head, but she just so happened to have a doctor's appointment that day, so they gave it a PCR test. She was negative, which was good, but she used the day to shop. She didn't come home just in case she had COVID. She was doing some endemic shopping, just in case. Smart. She was using her time wisely. I would have done the same, except I would have been at the bar. Man, I don't understand. They said this omnivirus, Omicron, is more contagious than any other virus. More so than the Delta, than the original. And you can still get it if you had the other ones. And scientists can't figure out why. You know what? Tell them to call me. It's a cold. That's why. It's a common cold. Stuffy nose, congestion, little cough, maybe a fever. Sleep it off, man. Some fluids, electrolytes, and some rest. You'll be good as new 5 to 7 days. It's a cold. Deal with it. Really, it really is truly bizarre what this COVID is doing. In Illinois, the Holocaust Museum is requiring people to show their papers that they've been vaccinated to get into the Holocaust Museum. Can you imagine asking someone to show their papers to get into the Holocaust Museum? Does that seem weird and bizarre, strangely insulting to anyone going into the Holocaust Museum? Yes, show your papers. Come on, man, get over it. Let him get in. Then, it's a good thing we had Whispering Joe. He had a plan from day one. He was going to come in, him and Kamal were going to come in and knock this virus out. I don't know if any of you saw it, but just the other day he gave up. Says nothing the federal government can do. It's got to be done on a state level. Let's see. How quick is he taking away those federal mask guidelines from everybody? Because everything he said now is a joke. If the feds can't do anything about it, he lied to us. And it wasn't a whispering lie. It was just a lie. My God, it really is crazy. Really is crazy with this. But it is good to know that Whispering Joe and his people have just given the okay for a factory to be built that is going to produce rapid coronavirus tests. 137 million. It'll take 3 years. How many years Joe going to be in office? 1, 2, 3. That's if Kamala doesn't usurp him as he goes into the greatest stages of dementia. Not sure, buddy. I'm thinking flatten the curve is going to take about 3 years. Right around the time the rapid test center production is complete. But that's the only way to stop the curve. Stop the curve, get Biden out, no refunds. This is what the country voted for, allegedly. Not going to get into it, because I do enjoy a good conspiracy, but I'm not a conspiracy theorist. But just so you know, there is speaking of Whispering Joe, there is a race car driver named Brandon Brown on NASCAR, and you know they have the crazy painted cars? On the side of his car, it says, "Let's go, Brandon," and there's been a big complaint. Let's go, Brandon. Even Joe said, "Let's go, Brandon." He supports the guy. But imagine that. That's his name, and they're looking to get it taken off his car. This is just called lunacy. It's the guy's name, and it's pretty darn funny. Now, transgenders, they need the attention. They've been beaten down so bad, apparently, forever. God only knows. They don't have any rights. Transgenders have the same rights as everybody else. I'm not sure what rights they don't have. If there are any specific rights, because no one can seem to tell me the rights they don't have. But they're really going off the deep end. One, if you're a transgender, I don't need to respect you. You need to earn respect. I will give you your respect, and as I do every person, until they either earn more respect, earn to keep the respect, or lose the respect. But just because you are transgender doesn't mean I need to respect you. I'll respect your choice. I'll respect who you are. I'll respect how you live if you're a good person. But I don't need to respect you just because you're transgender. And you don't need to respect me just because I'm an angry Irish drunk guy. Fair game, man. Fair game. And again, you know, the transgenders, they're saying now, we've been assigned a gender at birth. You've been assigned a gender? No, you weren't assigned a gender. You were born with a penis or a vagina, and you have a gender that goes along with that sexual reproductive organ. How about we start believing that science? Anything after that you are, you are. But you're not assigned anything. You're born something. It's not like you're going into science class and they were assigning you to make a molecule out of Jell-O and some marshmallows. That's an assignment. Your birth gender isn't. It's ridiculous. And then another one. The new one the transgenders want, when you address them in an email, they want MX, mix. It's trendy. It's new. You know what? They don't like Mrs., Miss, Mr., because it's not the right identification. You know why I don't like MX? It's not a word. It's made up. It's fantasy. Let's just start calling them la-la, goo-goo, gaga. Who cares? It's not a word. How about you just use your name then? I'm fine with that also. It just keep getting weirder. And we keep going to further weirdness. There's a group of feminists who are protesting video games with female characters because the female characters are, and I'm going to read you, too sexy, hot, pretty, and physically attractive. That's why they are protesting them. They want the female characters to be ugly, fat, dumpy women. Feminists, there's a reason why a lot of feminists can't get dates. I'm just saying. Maybe they just want to look in the mirror and put themselves in the game. But then, another group down in Texas protesting some new abortion bill. Men are getting vasectomies to support the females. Can somebody tell me how getting a vasectomy is supporting female abortion bill? I'm a little unclear on that. Again, not so bright. You can ask my wife. But not really sure how that goes. It just seems that you don't want any kids. Because if you want any kids and you want to reproduce, you're not getting anything snipped down there. You're not hurting anybody else but yourself, brother. Believe me, these women aren't going go. Some of us are saying, yeah, now this one can't have kids. That's probably a good decision. Let me just say. And then, the third funniest group this week, there's another group who wants to cancel Elf on a Shelf. Elf on a Shelf, the little funny elf, pretend, goes back to Santa and tells, they've been watching the kids, they go tell Santa if the kid is good or not. That they do not want to normalize children into being surveilled. What is wrong with people? First of all, do they realize that Santa is not real? Santa's not real. It's a fantasy for children to enjoy Christmas. So let's cancel a non-existent fantasy elf who is going to go back and tell another fictional character how good or bad the children are because we're normalizing surveillance. I don't know, but you still want to normalize that? MX, you got me here, man. You got me here. And, you know, I'm watching these people standing in hours and hours and hours for this COVID test. Hours. It's unbelievable. But when you go to get the COVID test, you're standing in line for an hour amongst other people who think they have COVID, which may not be a great idea. But then you get in there, you have to show ID. So you're standing in line, showing ID, perfectly fine to get a COVID test. Voting, not so much. How is there a difference, a racist difference between getting a COVID test and voting? Not so sure, but these same people are against requiring proof of citizenship for voting. They consider it voter suppression. Who are they suppressing? The illegals? I'm thinking, yes, the illegals, because if you can't prove you're a citizen, you shouldn't be voting. It's not rocket science. Why are not more people talking about this? Because the media is suppressing everything and changing the facts. It's like then they reported there have been an increase of 100% attack on Asians in one certain area. 100%. And now you're thinking that and going, wow. Because I'm going to tell you something. Even one is too many. But last year, in 2019, I think, or 2020, it went from 2 to 4. But if you say 100%, you go, oh my God, 100%. So they continue to distort facts to create a narrative they want to create. but they very rarely tell the truth. So we need to wake up as a society and a culture and realize the media isn't our friend. And if you're middle class, neither is Rob Reiner. Rob Reiner, big funny man, meathead, who grew up with a silver spoon in his mouth, born into Hollywood royalty with Carl Reiner, is now telling the middle class that we should be happy for everything Whispering Joe's done for us. We should not take it for granted. We should get down on our knees and kiss the ring of Joe Biden because he's done so much for the middle class and working class. This coming from a man who's worth over $400 million. Like, his word means anything to me? Why do these people so narcissistic believe what they say is gospel? It's crazy. You know, you want to help me out, make life better for me, Rob? Throw me a couple of million. Find you got plenty to go around, man. And then apparently the CDC says now they changed so much. If you put your left foot in, you put your left foot out, you turn all around, then the coronavirus will be gone. Sounds a lot like the hokey pokey. Left foot in, left foot out. You turn yourself around. Next thing, it's all gone. Hey, I don't know. But it really is crazy. Now, this week, the squirrel gave me an interesting thing. Just earlier, we were watching TV, and I don't know if you've seen this show, this commercial with the adoption and don't be a perfect parent. You don't have to be a perfect parent. You just have to be a parent who's there. So he's watching the commercial, and he turns around to me, and the squirrel says, "See, Dad, you don't have to be a perfect parent. That's you." So I got that going for me. Not perfect, but at least he considers me a parent today. So maybe I'm not bottom tier. Who knows? Then, here we go. The last advice. This is all marriage advice. I don't know if I'm the person to ask for marriage advice, because, I was married twice. I messed up the first one. The second one seems to be going pretty well, though. Just saying. Well, here it is. I'm having an argument with my future in-laws. Dear Angry Mac, I'm having an argument with my future in-laws about who is paying for the wedding photos. I believe that they should be paying for it because that's tradition. They say it's not them. Who is the normal person to pay for wedding photos? How about this? Whoever wants to pay for them. If you don't want to pay for them, don't pay for them, but don't expect somebody else to pay for them. You want photos? Be prepared to pay for your own wedding. No, you neglected to say, you numbnuts. What are they paying for? Pay for your own stuff. If you can't pay for it, it might not get done. That's just life, sister. Now, the last one, another marriage advice. Very simple. Dear Angry Mac, should my fiance and I go to marriage/couples therapy counseling before we get married? My advice to that is, no, you will never get married. Don't do it. If you want to get married, stay away from the pre-counseling and therapy. Don't do it. Now, listen, everybody. This is the brand new year, January 1st. Let's have a great year, and hopefully by the time the year is done, Corona is going to be gone. I am already looking to some good events for my own personal family down the road. I'm looking for Corona to be over. I'm looking to live like a normal human being again. You want to come see me? I'm around. Everybody knows where I play darts. Come, give me a hug, give me a kiss, buy me a drink if you want. But listen, when I see my friends and people I care for, I'm going to give them a hug. I'm going to tell them I love them because there's nothing more important in your life than the people you care about. You care about people you don't see. You may not be able to give them a hug, but you know what's not going to stop you? Picking up the phone and say, hey, listen, I love you. I haven't seen you in a while. And the people who know that, they know it anyway. It's just nice to say. So appreciate what you have today because it could all be gone tomorrow. And believe it or not, my grandfather's still hanging in there. Cheers, Joe. I love you all. And I'll see you next week.